The AJS-7R was a British 350 cubic centimeters racing motorcycle built from 1948 to 1963 by Associated Motorcycles. It was also commonly known as the Boy Racer, and won victories both for the factory and for privateers right from its introduction in 1948. A new design by Phil Walker, the chain-driven overhead camshaft 7R had the history of the pre-war AJS Cami singles behind it. Initially, the 7R was not quite as powerful as its competitors, producing 32 bhp, 24 kilowatts, at 7,500 rpm. The duplex frame and telehydraulic front forks remained relatively unchanged during production, while the engine had a number of changes. The included valve angle was progressively narrowed, and the crankshaft strengthened. In 1956, the engine dimensions changed from the original long-stroke 74x 81mm to the squarer 75.5x 78mm. The AMC gearbox replaced the older Burman unit in 1958. In 1951, AJS development engineer Ike Hatch developed a 75.5mm bore x 78mm stroke, 3-valve head version of the 7R making 36 bhp, 27 kilowatts. It was called the AJS-7R3, and was Ike's response to the Italian multi-cylinder racers. They did well enough in their first year, not as well the second. For 1954, Jack Williams, the works team manager, developed the bike further, lowering the engine in the frame, and making some tuning changes that gave 40 bhp, 30 kilowatts, at 7,800 rpm. It immediately won the first 2 rounds of the World Championship and took first at the Isle of Man TT. These were factory specials, but one has survived, and a second has been reconstructed from spares. The 1957 AJS-7R 350 cubic centimeters, with 75.5mm bore and 78mm stroke, gave 38.5 bhp, 28.7 kilowatts, at 7,600 to 7,800 rpm, and weighed 285 pounds 129 kilograms. The top speed was 180 to 190 km per hour, 115 to 120 miles per hour. AMC withdrew from the world of works and won off-road racing at the end of the 1954, with the death of Ike Hatch, and in the face of fierce competition from the other European bikes. After this, AJS made a production version of the standard 2-valve AJS-7R for privateers, and a 500 cubic centimeters version, badged as a matchless G50, was also sold. By the end of production in 1963, the 2-valve OHC AJS-7R engine made over 40 bhp, 30 kilowatts. Swedish rider Bill Nielsen converted an AJS-7R road racing machine into a motocross bike and rode it to win the inaugural FIM 500 cubic centimeters Motocross World Championship held in 1957. AJS-7RS won the 1961, 62, and 63 Junior Manx Grand Prix races and came second in 1966.